Whoa, it's the Illusion reporting from somewhere on Matrix Earth, somewhere in Matrix Earth, right? So I was doing a live stream earlier today and I was talking about how, you know, you need to get out of the city now, right? Like, you need to get out of the city while you can, because eventually, like, when the cities do go sideways, which they already have, you're going to come out to a rural place and the door is going to be kind of closed. And then I was reading a comment, was like, someone's like, well, you're grateful that it was open for you and this and that. And I go, yes, exactly. But it's not like, what I mean by it is, when you show up out in a rural zone, you can't just show up. You have to, like, sit back and become part of the background, if you will, right? So I moved up here a year ago, got out of the city a year ago, right? I didn't come up and try to insert myself in anything. I showed up and allowed, you know, God to introduce me to whoever I was supposed to introduce, but I just basically kept to myself, right? I didn't show up and go, hey, I'm here, this is what I need, help, or any of that. I showed up and I just went about my life in the most low-key way possible. I didn't come up here to change it. I came up here to let it change me, right? So I'm a year into it, and why I'm making this video is I just noticed. So I had to come over to a different post office to send out my t-shirts. Gets orders links down below. I had to send out some t-shirts, but I got delayed with some solar issues. I couldn't go to the local post office. I had to go to the post office on the other side of the lake, right? I pulled in there, and there was one of my postal gal from my normal post office was over there doing whatever she was doing with the post office, and she came out and she said, what are you doing over at this post office, right? It's taken me a year of going to that post office, being polite and nice, to be acknowledged as one of her postal customers, if you will, right? And, you know, I use the name tags and the whole thing, but it took me a year, and I just noticed that. I was like, oh, that's cool. Like, she knows who I am. She recognizes me, right? And that's what I mean about, you got to get out of the city now. Don't wait till it's too late, because it takes a while to establish yourself in a rural community, because a rural community is kind of close-knit, right? They've all been up here for a long time. They've all been living where they are for quite a while, and they know who you are. Whether they know who you are, they know that you're new or you're not from around here or whatever it is, right? So you can't just come in and just be like, hey, I'm here, blah, 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 because A, that makes you vulnerable to people because you don't know who they are either, right? And people don't want that experience with someone new, because we live in crazy times. Nobody knows who anyone is, man. Anyone could be a Fed, dude. You know, anyone could be a triple agent. Anyone could be anything, right? So it's only time tells, dude, and only your actions show, right? So a year into this thing, you know, like, one of the first things I did was start going to the local church. I didn't go and announce myself. I sat in that church for about a year. Yes, people were super friendly at the church. People are super nice at my church. They introduce, hello, how are you, blah, 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 blah. But it was a year before I joined the church. I didn't show up and just join the church. I waited a year, and then I took the class to, they have like a class so you know what the church is about, what's expected and what you can expect, and the doctrine and all that stuff. I did that after about a year, right? And I got to know the group of people that I joined the church with, right? And now I'm part of that church. I'm part of that community. They know me. I see them around. I see that the gal who runs the church office at the post office. I see her around, but I didn't come in and announce myself. I slowly got to know people in the community via Owl playing sports, right? Signed him up for soccer last fall. Signed him up for baseball. He's now seen a couple of children that crossed over to teams. See them. I'm in the background. I go to the lumber store here. Over the course of going to the lumber store for a year, I know a couple of the guys there. But I didn't come in hot. I just slowly showed myself to be an honorable person, right? And why I'm saying that is because if you want to escape the city, and I highly recommend anyone who's in a city listening to this to get out while you can, because life's good outside the city. Yeah, it's hard. It's a little thinner. It's not as easy. But then again, I don't know if life in the city was ever that easy anyhow. It's just different, right? It's real. Your handshake has to mean something, right? But what I'm getting at is, if you were to just leave the city because of some sort of calamity, system shut down, banking collapse, energy grid disaster, whatever it is, right? And it's a big moment like that, and you just show up in some rural community. Yeah, you show up by yourself, you'll probably do fine. But if there's a bunch of people, dude, and they don't know you, dude, who are they going to take care of? They're going to take care of their neighbors first, or they're going to take care of the people that can take care of themselves there first, right? Resources are abundantly limited in a weird way, right? And so what I'm getting at is the reason you want to get out of the city early is to establish yourself in a rural community, not as someone who's there to take, but who is someone who is there to be part of, is what I'm trying to say. And that being part of a community takes time, dude. It takes time. I've been here a year and I'm just now starting to get to know people, right? But it'll be 5 years before I really gel in this new community, right? I just passed the U-Haul place. I had to rent a trailer there the other day. I got to know that, him and his wife there. Fantastic couple, dude. Old timers, right? We had a great conversation. Sat and just gabbed with the dude for an hour, man. Came back the next day, dropped up. He called me up, was like, hey, something came up. You can drop the trailer the next day. Great. I went back. I was like, hey, man, I got an issue with this motorcycle. He's like, bring it on by, man. And what I'm getting at is you want to show up in your new rural community and just be able to sit in the background and join the community and not have it be rushed for your own safety and for the well-being of everybody in that rural community. You have to remember that no matter how much you are escaping the city, you still stink of city, dude. It takes a long time to lose the city stench, if you will. Decade. Who knows how long, dude? I don't know. I haven't had to do this in a long time, right? But what I will tell you, dude, is if you're planning to leap to a rural community, start now. Because showing up because there's calamity or drama, or you're escaping and you're part of some wave of people escaping the urban nightmare, I think the door will close on you very quick, because we've already have to take care of ourselves first, right? Like I have to be able to take care of myself, because the community will already take care of themselves because they've known each other forever. I'm second to last in line at this point. Right? Last in line is the escapee. I'm second to last because I'm the new guy, right? We're the new family. Give it 5 years, we won't be the new family, but for right now we are, which means that we kind of have to have our own ducks in a row, because the people that are going to count on each other have known each other for decades and decades, dude, and went to high school together, and their parents live here and their grandparents live here. And so that's what I was trying to get at, is escaping to a rural area just because the calamity ensues in the grid and you've been warned. That's and you waited too long. That's not the way to go. If you know what I know, then your best move is to get out of the cities now. The cities are unsustainable, man. It's rats in a cage. It's the rats in a cage thing. Maybe you're buffered it enough from it within the city, but still, who wants to be part of that energy field? Like I said, I'm super grateful I got out. It's not easy on any level, dude. Joining a new community at 53 years of age, right? Starting over in a new community it's tough. But the one thing you have to have is patience, because if you move too quick, you'll stand out also, right? Today, for example, today, right? So today they had some power outage thing, and the solar, there was a glitch in our solar setup, so we were supposed to be fully good to go, right? But it didn't click on. It didn't do what it was supposed to do. So we didn't have any power. So I called my dude. He drove up from Bakersfield to come and problem solve, dude. Why? Not only because he's a good businessman and I'm his customer and he values me as his customer, but we've established a friendship because he's of the same mind I am right now. We've established a friendship. So when I called him, I called him because he's my guy. But the reason that he rearranged his schedule was because we've established a friendship over the course of what we've done over the last 6 months, right? Because that's how you got to do it. What I'm getting at is, for people to come through for you on that level, I mean, business is business, right? But the over and above and beyond stuff is because you've established a rapport through time. And that's what I was trying to say about when the shit hits the fan, man, and the doors close, you probably won't be welcome. Not because you're not welcome, but because the other people that are welcomed will already be there. Like this dude, like my buddy, like he's welcome. We've established that thing, right? Like I already have my list of people that know that they can escape to my like compound. Like I've already begun to establish the local network in that sense of like, so that's what I'm getting at. I'm not getting at like, oh, like close the barn door after you're in type of mentality. No, that's that locals only thing. I'm not into that. What I'm trying to say is it takes a big chunk of time to melt into a rural community just to get the tempo of it, just to get to the point where you can relax in it and not need to rush, right? Everything's got a rhythm to it. And the city rhythm or the urban grid rhythm versus the country grid rhythm is totally different. And you can't be a bull in the china shop, dude. That you won't get any help that way. So please, if you know what's coming, and I'm not a doomsdayer on any level. I think like there's nothing but opportunity and positivity. But I don't think I could have viewed it like that really from the urban matrix like I do now. Like I see nothing but like potential and positivity. I had to believe that was the case when I was living in the grid, in the urban. But now that I'm out of it, like I'm like, oh, like the fight to keep your mental balance in the urban grid is so gnarly, dude. So dystopian, so unfriendly, so uncommunity based. But yeah, to join a new community, it takes a while. Gotta meet your neighbor, gotta get to know your neighbors, gotta know who you are too. Anyway, this is the illusion. I thought I'd just follow up on that because I didn't want it to seem like I'm like that. Like, yeah, I'm like everyone else. Like, times are gonna get gnarly, dude. So best plan appropriately while you can, because you don't want to wait to the last minute, dude, because that's when you're gonna get smoked. And you want plenty of time to use the name tags. So don't forget to use those name tags, get to know people, be friendly, say hello. And one other piece of advice, you don't need to give people a lot of information at first. All you have to do is show your character by being polite and nice. They already know you're there, dude. They already see you. Anyway, links down below. Get some of my new t-shirts, man. Get one of those Tesla coil t-shirts. Get fired up, dude. And support the brand. But more importantly, take care of yourself right now. Get tuned up. Get with God. Get positive. Get stoked. All right, it's the Illusion signing off.